Hi, everybody. Welcome to Audio Recording 1. My name is McKay Tebbs, and I am one of the instructors for this course, and I'm here today to explain to you how this course is going to work. A little bit of a background on me is I am a faculty member at Southern Utah University, where I teach in the undergrad program. I direct the commercial music program, kind of a newer program that we just started, and it's been growing, and we're offering undergraduates classes in recording, and we have an ensemble, we have the theory classes, we have songwriting classes, and it's been a great thing so far. I also teach in the master's program, this class, the audio recording 1 and 2 classes. And I'm a guitar player. That's kind of my background with music. That's what I got a lot of my degrees in. And that's what I love to do, is pick up my guitar and play and record it. That's a lot of fun as well. So welcome to the class, and I'm here today to go over the syllabus with you, to explain to you how the class goes and what you can expect from it. But just know that if you have questions, you can email me. My email is mckaytebbs@suu.edu. That's on the syllabus if you don't know how to spell it, but it's MCKAYTEBBS. And I'd love to meet and video chat with you if any of you want to, and I'm available to do that. So you can send me an email and we can set up a meeting to do that, because I would love to have the chance to get to know you as well. So welcome to the class. I'm going to put the syllabus up and we can go through it together, and I'll explain how things work. So here is the syllabus, and here is at the top, you can see my contact info on the screen. So I'm in the Center for Music Tech. This is my office email, so you can try and call me. And if I'm here at my desk, I'd be happy to answer the phone and talk to you about something. Sometimes that's easier than sending an email, as we could just have a 5-minute conversation about it. And then that's my email address right there where you can reach me. So this class, a survey of the technical characteristics and performance of each components of the audio recording in the recording studio. Basically, it's going to teach you how to record. It's going to teach you how to use microphones to record. It's also going to teach you how to use a DAW, digital audio workstation. There's lots of DAWs out there, and all of them do some pretty awesome and amazing things. All of them do pretty much the same thing, but then a lot of them have these differences that make them unique. The DAW that we're really going to be working with here is the Pro Tools DAW. And so you are going to need to have access to that to be in this class and to submit work. And that is one of the main reasons, is because this class has become a Pro Tools certification course. And I'm going to be explaining more about that in a few minutes. But you can actually get certified in that software. And so that's one of the reasons we're really using it. But those other DAWs are great, and I know a lot of you have a background with those other DAWs, and I just want to say, hold on to that, keep it. You don't have to let it go at all. Some of you already have a strong background with Pro Tools, but if you can be proficient in Pro Tools and proficient in any other DAW of your choice, or multiple DAWs, I mean, it's all the better, because you're going to be doing work in a lot of different platforms. So anyway, it's a recording class, though, audio recording. So we do get into setting up microphones and how to record different instruments. What's the best way to record a guitar? What's the best way to record a flute or a saxophone? And our textbook is a very valuable resource in figuring that out. It's basically got everything in there that you could ever have a question about. We're also going to be talking about MIDI production and how to work with MIDI notes, how to use MIDI to generate sounds in your DAW. Using plugins and inserts and things like that. So anyway, but you're going to need some textbooks to be able to complete this class successfully. There's 2 of them. The first one is the required, or the Pro Tools 101 book, Pro Tools Fundamentals, the 2022 current edition. It's actually version 2022.6. So that is the one that you're going to need to have. And this newer version, I just realized they got a new author for it, and I hadn't deleted that. But here's a picture of the cover for the Pro Tools book. The best place to find it is the Avid website. Avid is the company that owns and runs Pro Tools. So you go to their website, and I'm including a link here. So if you click on this link, it'll take you right to the page where you can download this ebook. It is an ebook, and the price is $44.99. I love to have real books that I can hold in my hand and mark up with a pencil. But at the moment, it's the easiest way to get this book is to get the ebook version. So, and do make sure you get the most up-to-date version of it. So the 2022.6 version, because that's the one we're going to be working out of. And that's the one that your certification is going to be based out of. Because there's a lot of older editions, and we used to work out of those, but I'm going to strongly encourage you to get the one off the website that is their current one that they're using. So get that book, and then you're going to need 2 books for this class. The other one is the Recording Engineer's Handbook by Bobby Owsinski, the 5th edition of that. Such a great book, such a good resource to have on hand. It gets you started into audio recording, starting from the ground and on up. And by the end of it, it's going to show you how to place microphones for all these different instruments. Talks about recording in stereo, recording in mono, and so anyway, every week you're going to have work due out of these 2 books. So you're going to need to get them both. So if you haven't already ordered them, please do so now so that you'll have the resources you need to complete this class. Other than that, you are going to need some other materials. You're going to need the internet, access to broadband internet services. Can I just recommend a fast internet connection, high speed? Now, if you don't have it, that's okay. But I once had this student who had a really slow connection, and it actually interfered with his ability to upload assignments to his folder. So at the end of the week, the assignments weren't there, and he thought they were there, but they weren't there. And by the end of the semester, he was so far behind with things, it was really hard to catch up. So having a fast and reliable internet signal is important for this class. You're going to need a computer. You can use a Windows computer or a Mac computer. Either one will work. Use the one you're comfortable with. Use the one you have. I wouldn't recommend going out and buying a new computer just for this class, unless you want to and you're already planning to do that or something. Keep in mind with Pro Tools, there's a lot of keyboard commands you learn with your typing keyboard. And it always has it written in both Mac version and Windows version. So you'll be able to do it either way, but you are, I guess, going to need one of those programs. You're going to need Pro Tools, Avid Pro Tools, version 12.4 or later. I actually would probably want to change this to version 2022.6, which is the current one, which is the new one that you can download from the website if you were going to go out and buy this program today. If you already have the older version, okay, fine, just use the older one. Use the one you already have. I don't want to be picky about it if you've already got it, but if you're going to buy it, just make sure you buy the newer one. And also make sure you remember the educational discount. You are a student, so when you buy software, there's an educational discount available. So make sure you search for that so that you can save some money when you're buying it. You're also going to need a MIDI controller, one of these external MIDI controllers, aka a piano keyboard on your desk or wherever you're working. This is how you work with MIDI, as you play things in on the keyboard and then it enters in. So you're going to need to have one. Mine's a 66 key keyboard, but you can get a cheaper one that's just like 1 octave, 1 or 2 octave keyboards, and that's all you're really going to need, just something where you can play one note at a time. 2 XLR phantom powered mic inputs, an audio interface. So if you have an audio interface, great. If not, like, I'm just going to show you this one I have on my desk real quick. This is the Scarlett, the Focusrite Scarlett. It's got 2 input, so I can plug 2 microphones into 2 different channels. This will get you by just fine. Buying this audio interface is going to be like, I'm not sure, 150, 200 bucks. Yeah, it's kind of a lot, but if you buy a bigger, fancier one, it's going to be more like 3 or 4 or 500 bucks. And because you get more channels, and it's fun to have 4 channels or 8 channels, and at a certain point you are going to need that too. But if you're just getting started, having 2 channels for this class will be fine. Two matched microphones, small diaphragm condenser microphones. If you don't know what a small diaphragm condenser mic is, look it up real quick. But also it's in the book. When you get the book, one of the first things you learn in the book is the different types of microphones, and the book is going to show you the difference between a dynamic microphone, a condenser microphone, and a ribbon microphone. Those are the three main types. And the condenser microphones, there's a large diaphragm condenser, small diaphragm condenser. The diaphragm is kind of the circumference of it. So a small one, it's those thin ones that kind of look like a cigar or something like that. So get those. And then one dynamic microphone, the Shure SM57 is just a great mic to have. You're going to use it a million times. It's probably one of the most commonly used mics, along with the Shure SM58 microphone. So you're not going to regret having one of those on hand. And then one large diaphragm condenser mic, two mic stands, because you got to place these mics in a mic stand, and a pop blocker, which you can buy or you can build your own, but you put that in front of the microphone. And then access to your Google Drive. Your Google Drive is very important for this class because that's where you upload all your work. The class is in Canvas, but you submit your work in your Google Drive. So all the modules are in Canvas, but when you go to submit work, you're going to submit it into your module. Why? Because some of these files are large, quite large. Like I have students email me files that are a gig. Right? Yes, 1 gig or 2 gigs, and that just takes up so much memory. Canvas can't support that. So anyway, if we use Google Drive, we can upload large files that we're working with, and we can get them back and forth really easy. So your instructor is going to email you a link to your Google folder, and that's where you're going to start submitting your work. So just keep your eye out for that link that you'll be getting, and send an email out to your instructor if you have questions about it. So method of instruction, there's video lessons, kind of like this, where I'm going through the syllabus, but I'm going to do that with the other materials as well. Reading, online interaction. So each chapter and each lesson has a reading assignment. So as you're doing your work and completing it, you're going to want to pull up the reading assignment and basically answer those questions. The Pro Tools books are called lessons, not chapters. And each lesson has a review/discussion questions at the end. So it's review and discussion questions for the Pro Tools books. It's reading assignments for the Recording Engineer's Handbook. But anyway, you'll need to do those every week. So that's part of it. In addition to that, you'll have some other assignments due every week, assignments in recording. Like recording with one microphone, which is making a mono recording with 2 microphones, making a stereo recording. There's a MIDI assignment when we start working with MIDI. So anyway, each assignment has instructions that will tell you how to do it. And those are all in Canvas, and we'll see those when we log into it. And optional Zoom discussion forums. Keep your eye out for emails from your instructor that tell you times where you can meet together to do this Zoom meeting, really just to get to know each other, just to build friendships and relationships, because sometimes when you're in an online class, it's, I don't know, you kind of feel like you don't know anybody, and it's a way to connect with other classmates and to ask questions. And it's optional. That's why it says optional, because the challenge is all of us are in different time zones. So if I schedule something at a certain time, there's probably no way that everybody can be there. That's why it's optional. One day it'll be at this time, another day it'll be at that time, and then by doing that, we'll hopefully be able to have times when everyone can participate. Midterm and final projects are in this class. So those are creative projects where you get to basically create a song using certain specifications that are in the assignment descriptions, one at midterm and one at finals. And then there's tests. So each module or group of modules will have a test to it. There's a midterm test and there's a final test. Part of the final test will be the Pro Tools 101 exam. And this leads us into what you're going to get out of this class when you finish this class. So student learning outcomes. I'm going to jump down here first. The Pro Tools certification. So if you do everything right, you can get half of your Pro Tools certification in this class. The reason why I say half is because to get the whole certification, there's 2 courses. And we're doing 1 course here in this class. We're doing the Pro Tools 101 course. So if you want to carry your certification out and actually get the whole thing, then you're going to need to sign up for the Audio Recording 2 class, where we do the Pro Tools 110 class, the second class. So Pro Tools 101, Pro Tools 110, each of those 2 courses has an exam at the end, a 50-question exam. And if you pass that 50-question exam, then you pass that course. And once you pass both of those exams, you officially gain your Pro Tools certification. So here is kind of a little diagram to show you. Here's the Pro Tools 101 course. You pass that exam, Pro Tools 110, pass that. And then you get to be Avid certified user in Pro Tools. So what does that mean, really? What do you get? Well, there's a lot of benefits you get, and I actually have them listed here in the syllabus, but I also have this link right here. So go to the Avid website and read about it, and you can read about the benefits of being certified in Pro Tools and how that can help you. So this class will give you half of the Pro Tools certification, but to get to the other half, you do need to take the audio recording too. That becomes problematic for some of you because some of you won't be required to take audio recording too, because you have the 4 different tracks you can choose from in the Masters of Music Technology. So I think it's the studio track and the performance track are the ones where you're required to take audio recording too, where you would then finish out your, and I could be wrong on that, on which tracks it is, but those are the ones where you would take audio recording 2 and finish out your Pro Tools certification. It would be nice to get both of these into 1 class, but the truth is we have 2 classes, and getting Pro Tools down is half of our goals for this class. The other half of our goals is learning how to record audio and learning how to use microphones and that. So this class is already full with that information. So anyway, to finish your Pro Tools certification, you're going to need to take the Audio Recording 2 class. So other learning outcomes we have are understanding how MIDI is used to compose music, learning how to edit sound files, recording audio files in Pro Tools, identifying the most used microphone types and different types of microphone, knowing how to place microphones during recording session setup, programming drum beats and loops. So some of you might be familiar with some of this already. You know, there's a lot of diversity in skill level with this master's program. So it is kind of like, this is audio recording 1, right? So we are starting from the ground up. So it's great for those of you who just don't have any experience. Some of you are going to look at this list and say, I can already kind of do that. Well, great. So you might already have something that's kind of easy for you, and you might also have the opportunity to deepen your understanding of what you already know how to do, because you can always learn how to do something better and deeper than what you already know. So anyway, those are the learning outcomes. And the last thing on this syllabus is, here it is, a week-by-week schedule of events. So if you're ever wondering, so what's due this week? What work do I need to get done? It's all here in the syllabus, and it's sectioned out module by module. This class is 7 weeks long, so each week has a module, and we do 1 module per week. And here is a list of what's due. So for week 1, or module 1, we're going to be going through the syllabus. That's what you're doing right now by watching this video. And then lesson 1 and lesson 2 in the Pro Tools book. Chapter 1 in the Recording Engineer's Handbook. That's what we're working on for module 1. And over here are the assignments you need to complete for that. There's an assignment called Turning In Assignments. There's exercise 2. Oh, and I might say also exercise 1. There's a recording assignments 1, 2, and 3, and a recording project. So recording project 1. So anyway, that's everything that's due. And check this out. All work is for week 1 is due Sunday, 11:59. Your deadline for submitting work is Sunday, 11:59 p.m. That gives you all week and the weekend to do your work and get it in. because I realize that a lot of you are actually working professionals right now in this class. You have your job during the week. And so it's kind of structured so that if you're really busy working during the week, you could go wait until the weekend. And on the weekend, when you're not working, you could do all the coursework. Just make sure to get it in by 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. That is the deadline for this class. The first test happens during module 2 or week 2, and here's a list of what you're being tested on that week. And anyway, it's a week by week breakdown, so do look here to see what is due and when it's due. This all listed right here. Here's a list of points, tests, midterm project. Here's how many points everything is. And finally, here is the letter grade. So if you want to get an A, you have to get a 94%. 90 to 94% is an A minus. So if you want a solid A, you have to get 94 or higher, and then B plus, and so on from there. Last of all, last but not least, late work will only be accepted at half credit. Say it again, late work will only be accepted at half credit. Isn't it great that I accept it? I mean, isn't it great that I don't just say, oh, you're late, too bad. You know, stuff happens, I know, and sometimes life gets difficult. So I do want to help you and give you opportunity, but you will not be able to get full credit. Full credit goes to those who get their work in on time. And that does, you know, require a little bit more prioritization and time management skills. But what I really want to avoid is having a student wait until the last week of class to submit everything for the whole semester. You know, it's a 7-week class, but it has 14 weeks worth of work in it. So what they told me to do when I designed this class is take a 14-week semester and condense it into 7. So yes, it's intense. There's a lot of work due. Also, it's master's level work. You know, it's going to be different from your undergrad experience because you're at a higher level where you are expected to work hard and to maybe do above and beyond what you've done in your prior degrees. But anyway, do your best to get things turned in on time. And when you have an emergency, just let me know, send me an email, let me know what's going on with you, and don't not let me know. Because sometimes, you know, a student's not submitting, they're not responding to my emails or my messages in Canvas. I'm like, oh, this student's just missing. This student just doesn't care about their grade. This student is, maybe they're, I don't know, having a real emergency in life. But keep your instructor informed of what's happening in your personal life and ask them to help you so that you can make sure to, you know, stay active in this class and get the work done that you need to do. Okay, that is it for the syllabus. So I guess that's it for this video. So I'm really glad to have you in the class, and I look forward to working with you. I once again want to encourage you to reach out to me or your instructor, introduce yourself. Don't be shy and afraid. Remember, you're paying a lot of money for this degree, and part of that money includes attention. Part of what you're paying for includes attention from your instructor, someone to give you feedback, advice, and answer your questions. And so make sure you reach out when you need to have feedback and need help with things. All right, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.